news. Did anybody else say that? No. Within 2 or 3 weeks, the Zionist was crying on television, physically crying. We can't see them. They're ghosts. I said, they ain't did not put on the Indian shirt. The ghosts, you know, they did the ghost dance, you know. Well, you know how the Indians believe that you put on the shirt is bulletproof and stuff. It was out of time. It was a good idea. It didn't happen to work for them, but it sure worked for the Lebanese. It's just when you use it. So the ghost dance worked. They destroyed the psychological makeup of the Zionists. And everybody looked at the Zionists. Now and then they say they can be whipped. Now, here we are, right now. They have seen video after video. They've heard CD after CD for over 10 years, forecasting what we're going to do to the Zionists, and then we do it over and over and over again. To now, we have fulfilled our mission. Our mission, a mission of optimism, a mission to teach people, you can do this. You can do it. Here's Boss Man. Now, this is what we're going to do to Boss Man. You got to remember how we talk then, how we talk now. We're going to slap the urine out of Boss Man. We're going to slap spit out. When you slap him, sweat going to pop off his head and spit going to fly out of his mouth. And we do it all the time. We've done it so many times, right? That's the war. That's the war we wanted. We couldn't win no other kind of war. Maybe some other kind, but not for us. So we had to decide what kind of war we're going to fight. Okay? We've won that. We've shown people who they are. We've been knowing this for decades and decades. But if we know it and don't nobody else know it, it's a deficit. So the audacity, the confidence, and the courage that we have developed from fighting this enemy, we have to help transfer this to other people. You said we have to transfer that to them. So now that's what we have done. Anybody that watches us know that, hey man, 10 years ago, how to punk the FBI, right? It's simple. That's psychological warfare. That's what the Hadith say. That's what the Hadith is telling Hassan ibn Thabit. Aisha radiallahu anha confirms it. Hassan, if you do this, the Prophet said, the Holy Spirit, Jibril, is going to be with you. And if you do this, this is like shooting them with arrows, like shooting them with a gun, with bombs. It's like shooting at them, hitting them. And if you do this, you will cure the people and you will cure yourself. It's cured. All the inhibitions and is this really possible? Can we pull this off? You got to imagine what you're going to be dealing with. So anybody else, when you're at the point, which you will come, because the Islamic movement is not allowing all of these, to you and I, to avoid. The Islamic movement is growing and developing all over the world, and God is using the shaitan. Because remember, Quran is clear, I only created men and jinn that they serve me. That's what Allah says. When we was laughing and talking about Amelie being the name of how we're going to name Donald Trump, well, we named George right here. We named him George the Unifier. He unified Muslims better than any other president. Right? He did. That's what George did. But it didn't bring us home. Now we got this boy. He can't do no wrong for the movement. He can't do no good for them. He can't. That don't make no difference. He can't do any good for them, and he can't do no harm to us. It don't make no difference if he get up in the morning and work with the Democrat. That don't make no difference. He can't do no good for the system. He can't. And he can't do no harm to us. That don't mean that have you seen what's been happening in Syria lately? Syria is almost totally liberated now. You could hear the white folks. But remember how they was talking a few years ago. Hafiz Assad and Bashir Assad gotta go. You gotta go by next week. We're giving you 24 hours to get out of town. Remember that? So what he said? Well, he might be able to stay a couple of weeks. Well, we'll just have to put up with it. Right? Afghanistan. You got to remember what we told all these people in the beginning. If you go into Afghanistan, after now we told them, we did the thing on the TV, what was that? About Pakistan, Afghanistan, what was it? Down the C-SPAN. We told them the people of Pakistan may be serious, the government may be punks, but you know, they were tricked. Go into Afghanistan, and it looks like you got a big victory. Worked so good, let's go into Iraq. They did. What did we say? We say, you finished, homeboy. From day one. We participated in all the demonstrations. Don't go into Iraq, no war in Iraq. And they went anyway. 35 million people demonstrated around the world. The same day we demonstrated here. And they went anyway. The graveyard of empires, Afghanistan and Iraq is in the graveyard. Have they had any victories in anything, in economy? Have they had any victories in anything? How are they perceived around the world? Orderly America, stable America? But do they have a fool in there that calls the Australian or the French people president? So man, I don't like what you're talking about. And you can't bump you, man. You gonna do it like I tell you, that's it. Yeah, just the president of Australia. Pretty big place down there, but it's okay. Just talk to him like a fool. I'll slap you upside your head. What'd you say? You think I'm jiving? Keep on. Watch to see what I do. And threatening the Koreans. Think about it.
Don't forget the guy that he pushed aside.
That's never happened. You see that?
No, I didn't see that.
You didn't see on the news when they had a big conference over there? And all the presidents and prime ministers was on the stage?
No.
The man actually, get out of the way. And he got up there and stood up there. I said, this is not high school. This is like, you know, like, it's not above 6th grade action, right? Because I had never seen it. Have you ever seen any official, a mayor?
I've seen people maneuver their way to get in a picture, to get yourself, but not just bogart and barrel everybody out the way so you get up front.
Oh, everybody be just humming. Oh, where you gonna have the camera? Let's ease over that way. But yeah, not like you say, not like, oh, y'all already there. Get over the way. And then standing there like, yeah, see, this is, hey man. And threats. See, North Korea uses wonderful psychological warfare. Because see, if you get the big dummy fighting with you, you won. It don't make no difference. If I stayed in Oakland and hassled with Mukhtar, what could I gain from that?
Nothing.
Nothing. He's lying. Everybody knows he's lying. I don't gain nothing. When they call me on the phone, I don't even talk to them. Now we're going back now, and we're going to reinstitute and do our work at our Masjid, and they have to get out of there and stay out of there. But I'm not going to tell them how I'm going to get you out. You have to pay back all the money you've taken. You're responsible. Mukhtar has to put that back. He's responsible. Okay? I'm not going to raise no army. People call me and tell me, we'll get an extraction squad to go in there. I said, you don't have to worry about it. He's going to leave. I said, I'm doing this my way. So before I even put my finger on anything, I'll do 3, 4, 5 weeks of speeches all around Oakland Tribune, the Federal Building. I'll do all the stuff to who we are. Remind people of what we was in those days. Teach them about the transition. That's what we're going to use Oakland. When we say Stalingrad to Oakland, they got to study Stalingrad. Stalingrad was, hey man, these white folks always talk about D-Day and all of what they did. Leningrad, Stalingrad, and all of that, hey man, those is big deals.
I saw the other day about Stalingrad. They said that was 900 days.
Yeah.
That wasn't no flash in the pan. 900 days. That's almost 3 years.
And when they locked it up, the Germans haven't shown nothing but their back since. They knocked over the whole German army. Over 300,000 troops. Out of the ones that they surrendered, 6,000 of them made them back. The Russians killed 5 out of every 6 German troops that was killed in the war. You would think D-Day, Americans did it all. The Eastern Front, look at here. I've talked about it before, but Stalingrad to Oakland. Oakland is the Stalingrad of the Islamic movement. Everything that they used, the Germans had all that mechanized weapons, oh man, and they just ran over Russia. If the Russians would have fought them the way the Germans wanted, they'd have got whooped to death. The Russians didn't use that. They used all that space and all that other. When the Germans come in, then they say, we're stopping them here. And they stopped them and they wore them down. And everything that they had, the Germans that was technically advanced, everything worked perfect. But at Stalingrad, it all turned around for them. They're great bombers that bombed the whole city. Yeah, it bombed the city. But it made it where they tanks out on the steps, and tanks could, Panzers, boy, they could have big diesel engines. They could outrun everybody. And they had cannons on them boys that would blow you out, and the Germans so good, as far as they could see you, they'd knock you out of the way. But in the city, they didn't bomb everything. All the streets is blocked. You can't drive 20 miles an hour down there. You got to drive up, stop. As soon as you stop, they can throw rocks at you and stop you. And the Panzer, the cannon fires out like this, but it can't fire up there, right? So everything there was an advantage. That's what we did to the Americans. That's why we told them, Stalingrad, homeboy, if you remember how we didn't just start talking about it. We told them. And that's what's happened in the Islamic movement. That's why Oakland was to teach everybody all the vulnerabilities. Remember, when you study the laws of war, you study your enemy. He has strengths, but he has weaknesses. He's human. It's a human thing. He has blind spots. We test him we test him right now, the very day, today. He got blind spots. We don't, until we tired of using it, we don't tell them you got this blind spot. We use it, then we tell them, well, we didn't use it so much. Sam, you gotta upgrade yourself. Because we're getting tired of slapping you right there. Don't get your head sore yet. Right? The people have to know what we have been doing, what we are doing. That means with no help in the physical world but Allah. All our allies, the Crescent international crew backed up on us. Zafar Banga set me up 9 or 10 times. Everywhere I go, he invites me somewhere around the world. The police stop me, turn me around, and just have a good time. Because he did. If I just popped up and went somewhere, I'd just go on about my business. So all the stops in Canada, you can't come here no more, is when he invited me. Going to Switzerland, when he invited me. Going to Lebanon, he invited me. Everywhere it was a problem like that, and I got to run in MI5 or 6 and all them people, swim. And remember, they would be MI5 because they come out the British. And he worked in the post office and he did all this. He comes under the British. And not only him, but a lot of his friends. See, they tell niggas stuff and they don't realize it. They got a whole school, a famous school in Pakistan, near the Hindu Kush. And they got graduates all over the country. It's just like if you was a Harvard guy or something, right? And it's a special school for them in Pakistan. And every time I'm with Zafar somewhere, yeah, this is a friend. He's what they call a galleon. He's one of the guys. It's a general. It's a guy in South Africa. It's a colonel. It's a vice president. Those are all his homeboys.
That went to the school?
Huh?
All of them went to the school?
To the school, yeah. The colonial times. Okay, so what do? They hooked up and I get to see all of them. Look, Iranians. Now, in the old days, Iranians and nobody else have ever had anybody that's honest and sincere, right? As I have been. I'm still honest and sincere to the Islamic Republic. But there's a crew. We're going to work on it. Like right now, we're going back, we said we'd go to Oakland the middle of the month. So that's June is the 15th. So between 16th and 18th or something. Right? But this is New York time. And they have the UN, all the presidents come to the UN from the 20th to maybe 25th, every year. And I'm always invited. I'm going to California. They want me to come up here. It's only on certain conditions. Number one, I have a 2-hour audience with the foreign minister and maybe the president. That's why I ain't coming. I don't care about coming. I'm headed to California. They didn't invite me to Muslim Congress, right? So evidently they on whatever trip they on, good. When we were engaged, I did my part. See, this is the thing. You have to do your part for the revolution, for all of that. I did my part with them. Now for America, we still doing our part. The only thing that we have to manage is, I've noticed the people for the last 10 years that go from America, Britain, France, and all that to Iran. They don't have nothing to do with Islam, or nothing to do with the Hollywoodism conference. And the last time a couple of times I was in Daftar, and I see the Negroes that they sent to Iran to some program. I ain't never seen them, never heard of them, and they don't have nothing to do with nothing. That's the only problem. See, now, here's what I'm saying. When we talk about Iran, inside Iran, there's no problem. They are led very well. The Rahbar, the leadership, the military, the education, everything is fine. The only thing is the foreign ministry has control over, the embassies, so they manage the people who come in from the outside who come in contact with the inside. So that's the only issue we're working on, is making sure the foreign ministry, the embassies, do not flood the inside with all of these characters for the last 10 years. Actually, for the last 15 years. Who are they? What do they have to do with the Islamic movement? Where were they when the Islamic Republic was fighting for its life? See, that's the only thing we're dealing with as far as the Islamic Republic is concerned. The inside is fine. You see what's going on with them? Hey, man, they got it going on. They have everything that we've demanded. They have strategic organizations. They have the same as Joint Chiefs of Staffs. They have all that type of thing. They're on the road. But they don't manage the external. So, if the inside want to contact the outside, they will be surrounded by foreign ministry dummies that don't have nothing to do with movement. That's the only part we're going to deal with. Why? Because this is America. This is our stomping ground. We're not like the other Negroes. The other Negroes almost gave away they relinquished their birthright. They relinquished their birthright to the movement here in America and anywhere else. The people wanted them to contribute, but they didn't contribute. And now they're sad and whatever they have these psychological problems. But we don't have those. We don't have those because we have done our job. Okay, so there's certain things coming up. But the main thing, we did not allow ourselves to be provoked by Mukhtar and by the whole Oakland crew. We didn't allow ourselves to be provoked here. Because remember, Mukhtar said, I'm coming to D.C. and I'm straightening y'all out. That's what he was saying. He said that. He said that publicly. He was coming to D.C. and he had Ahmed and them meeting with the big-headed woman down in my house. And they all on Mukhtar's side. Mukhtar, see, here's the thing. The system can develop an actor, but they can't develop a revolutionary. Here's what I mean. All the stuff we dealt with, Siraj is an actor. He's not a revolutionary. Abdul-Malik is an actor. He's not a revolutionary. All of those guys, they invite them to every program in the United States at that time. They still invite the students, invite Abdul-Malik to speak on black issues, all of that stuff, right now today. Okay, they can develop, but somewhere we've been, Trayvon Martin, I don't know if they had nothing on Trayvon Martin. But as far as you go back, no, I was young then, good God Almighty, I looked like a teenager almost. Black Lives Matter. This must be, you can see it's old and gray. Boy holding toy gun. Remember our kids all playing with toy guns, all of us. Slain by a panicky officer. 5-year-old boy. I think this is 82. Yeah, this is 82. Shot by the police, yeah. A 5-year-old boy left alone in a Staten apartment while his mother was at work was shot to death by a panicky police officer who said he feared he was being set up and mistook the toy gun the child pointed at him for a real weapon. What is it?
Set by a 5-year-old, how you saying?
Set up by a 5-year-old, and guess what? A 5-year-old cannot even hold up one of them old 357 magnums. He can't hold it up like that. It's too heavy. This poor guy, victim of officer's bullet, finds hope in son. The Bible, he got the Bible, he's laying there paralyzed.
Imam Musa, what made you cut those out and save those?
Because we had demonstrations on them.
Oh, okay.
This is like, okay, this is 82, February. Police killing, rule, self-defense by DA. Y'all heard of something like that? That's why this is all controversy. This is just a few, yeah.
You know, they had a guy down in Georgia last year.
Right.
He had stopped a white lady.
Right.
She was a little nervous. And so he said she didn't have to be nervous. He said they only shoot black people.
Right.
Police only shoot black people. He said you're not black, so you don't have to be nervous.
You don't have to worry. This is doing a chokehold blame for prisoner's death in Richmond jail. Richmond, right here, Oakland. Officer helped to organize Eula Love March, suit said. Eula Love was a big killing in those days. And it said, a march to City Hall by black ministers to protest the police shooting of Eula Love was organized with the help of an undercover Los Angeles police officer posing as a black militant. It was charged Monday. Officer Donald looked like a raccoon, racial or something, going by the name of Don Rafiki, served as chairman of the Southwest Community Justice Committee, principal sponsor of the 1979 march, according to a lawsuit filed against the police department by the American Civil Liberties. This was 79, 80, 81. I would say this is probably 82. Because the march that they're talking about was in 79. Okay. Just think if you ever heard of something like this. This is 80. This is probably 82. House panel rejects guest worker program. sounds familiar. The House Subcommittee narrowly rejected a potentially massive Mexican guest worker program which was proposed as part of a bipartisan immigration bill. Go on and on. And Reagan finally just let it all in, gave everybody citizenship, if y'all remember. Yeah, so. LAPD's lethal chokehold epidemic.
He just had one of the players that played for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, Bennett or somebody?
Yeah. Now, what I like about him, he talked about that knee in the back. He said they put that knee in his back, and that's what got the boy up there in Baltimore. That's what severed his spine. But the media would never talk about it. But the witnesses there said that they put that knee in his back. They had him like a crab, and that's what severed his spine. So that's part of their tactics of what they do.
Well, remember, a few years ago, what was we talking about? The poor sports guys making all these millions of dollars do not speak up. And now, since they gave Kaepernick or whatever his name is a job, everybody is demonstrating. For the movement, it's better they don't give him a job.
Right.
Because everybody said, see, it's obvious. What we did is obvious. The world is doing the same thing. The world is the same thing. Everything now is obvious. We just did our obvious part. Now it's obvious they killing black. So people would say, you're not upset, Imam Musa? I said, look, man, I don't tell them this is just one of the little things, like a little folder I have. I have stacks of, so we've had demonstrations for the last 35, 40 years on this stuff. And it's like the war did. After the 10th year of the war, you just read the number and you said, oh, 100 people was killed a day. At the first part of the war, you're panting, breathing heavy, and but it's been going on so long, so regular, you can't do your job if you foaming at the mouth every day. Right. Black Lives Matter. I said, of course they matter. I said, you don't think they matter? I said, you got any other imams been beat up by the police 2 or 3 times? I said, I'm the only one imam. I said,
and almost choked out.
Hey man, and ain't nobody don't want to say nothing about it. Islam, the true liberation. This is way back in 83. Oh, yeah. You can tell by the ayats we got.